Namaste. Of all the various kinds of fallouts which are going around with the pandemic, one good lesson. And that lesson is that this kind of hyperactivity in which life had entered, where life meant visiting malls, life meant having parties, life meant big fat Indian weddings. Thank God that is gone. Because actually these places are hubs of forces which are not conducive to health. What is there in a mall? Who are the people who visit there? They're filled with desires. And wherever there is desire, there is fear. Only the one who is free from desire, including the desire of survival, is completely free of fear. Because it doesn't matter. If tomorrow, if suddenly he's asked to come, he says, yes, I'm ready. So, when we go to such places, also because we are mixing in a crowd means crowd. It is full of all kinds of vibrations, thought energies which are being released. We think that we are all human beings, nice, namaste, shake hand, gale milla. All this we are thinking we are doing something very nice, maybe very pleasant, but from the deeper standpoint, it is not a good thing. Because people have their own atmosphere. And unfortunately, much of humanity lives in a very sordid atmosphere. It's a sad truth. A very ugly atmosphere. Sometimes it takes hard lessons of life to understand that people don't think the way you think. You may have goodwill, you believe everybody can be trusted and everything, and then suddenly when you are hit hard, then you realize, no, there are cheats also, scoundrels also. It's a fact. I'm not going into it's good or bad or right or wrong. But the point is when we just freely mix and have all kinds of, parties anywhere and everywhere, club, ways of life, crowds, it's not good. Not good. Forget about the pandemic, it's not good for our own progress. We become creatures of the mass. So, one good lesson of all this is that stay away from these things as far as possible and spend some time in quietude, seeking God's meaning in our life. What is the purpose for which we are here? The day we find the purpose and we begin to live it, that itself act as literally an antioxidant to many of these forces. By the very fact that we are seized with an enthusiasm, we are a flame of aspiration, wanting to go higher and higher. And see what happens when you go into an aircraft and you have a lot of downpour. How long does it last? Only till the time the aircraft takes off and pierces through a zone. That's all. The moment it goes beyond, nothing. It's in a very beautiful zone. So by this flame of aspiration of a being enters into those regions, this is what is important. But we remain tied to the surfaces. How do we remain tied? Oh, today this happened, tomorrow that happened. Always there is something to be happening, no? So I have this joke about me. So whenever I go to the office, there is a newspaper lying on the table. So the first person whom I hand over the newspaper, I say, you know what? World is doing well. What's your news about it? So it's a way of saying. But we are glued to that. And so also with the television. So let's not live on the surfaces of life. Let's live in the depths. Let's be a flame of aspiration, mounting upwards towards heaven. There is so much to do in this life than just survive somehow. This idea that I have to somehow live, somehow survive. It's such a depravity. To even live only for survival? Can we imagine that I am living only for just prolonging my life so that somehow I live? Better a Vivekananda, who at 39 leaves his body but leaves a stamp upon humanity for centuries to come. Then a great-grandfather, the great patriarch, like that movie Chennai Express. You have, with all the family members sitting around feeling very proud. You are just a photo frame. Who cares? That's not life is about. I somehow survived. I lived to be 108. That's not important. Whether 108 or 18 like Joan of Arc. The important thing is what we lived for and what we died for. So let's not live for only our own little survival, our own little family, but live for something great, something vast, something high. Then we'll never be afraid of death. because we know that this is the work we are here for. Life and death are very secondary. So let's burn this flame of aspiration, and in this flame burn away all that is dark and ugly, all that comes to frighten it. This flame, just like when you light up a lamp, animals stay away. So when this flame is lit, many of the forces, they say, my God, behind this flame there is the divine presence. Be a burning fire for progress. Nothing else matters in life. Namaste.